if you're joining us from YouTube land, this might be a Molly stream. So we will be having Molly on the lap for the foreseeable future, because once she makes a decision to where she wants to be, unless something distracts her, that's how it's going to be. So, anyways, my laptop is currently on a stack of many things. I'm 99% sure I can just do this all via mouse. I don't need the keyboard or anything like that. Might be interesting to read some of the other things. But oh yeah, she's laying. She's laying. Whoops. Need to do this. I am going to need to just do one quick thing, because unfortunately when I have the thing up for streaming, I need to do this. Okay. Alright, so last we left off, we blew up a boat. We blew ship up with a P. And got out of there, taking down a rat devil queen. Unfortunately, our shaman friend might have brought a little something back with her. Not sure yet, but she's never going on the mission with me because I'm the mage of this group. So, anyways. Yeah, I think we are about to meet Kindly Cheng for a bit of just turning down the volume just a bit. Oh gosh. Okay. All right, Molly. I will do my best. I'll do my best. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Because at least for me, with my headphones on, the volume is like twice as loud as it normally is. I should just learn to auto correct that before I start the stream, but you know. Alright, so let's go in. Alright, so we got, looks like our group's already there. Kindly Sheng, hello, hello. Kindly Sheng is in the midst of emptying 2 plastic shopping bags when you enter. She places the contents in a pile on her mahjong table, 2 liquor bottles without labels, a box of her thin black cigars, and an assortment of individually wrapped gourmet chocolates, bonbons, probably, and a large caliber pistol with electrical tape wrapped around its grip. You know, like you do when you go to shopping. No game on. Yeah, the game audio, I tend to keep that soft just because it tends to bang loudly once in a while. I'll turn it up a little bit. Okay, all right. We'll see how that goes. And now I have to do the. All right. Okay. Ah, good. You're here. She finishes with the plastic bags and throws them to the floor, like everyone does. As they float, when you throw them and they go like, whoosh. It's like, go down faster. 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 Anyways, it seems like forever since we last saw each other. Yeah, probably almost like a few weeks, it seems. Welcome back. Was your trip worthwhile? Her voice is filled with a rusty energy. Yes, my darling, yes. I met with several contacts within my network who referred me to others in neighboring cities. Regardless of how far technology moves forward, tradition demands that some things be handled face to face. I've returned with information that will lead you to the plastic-faced man, the man who killed Raymond Black. Excellent. While you were gone, we uncovered a relationship between Josie Sang and Raymond Black. The triad woman's eyes narrow. Did you? And what was it you uncovered? He's fiction, made up. His real name is Edward Sang. Fiction, eh? Josephine's son, Edward. So that explains where he went when he disappeared all those years ago. Seattle. What happened? I don't know. Just that he went missing after Josephine completed building the walled city. That was in the early 30s. Her face twists into a mask of disgust. Realize what this means, don't you, my sweet? That inbred little goat whore was cold enough to have her own son executed. Even more reason to find the plastic-faced man. What have you found out? Everything you need to move forward. She grabs a bottle and opens it. I know the identity of the plastic-faced man. His name is Lee Tai Lung, and he's an independent contractor, a trusted, deniable asset who handles all of Josephine Sang's more delicate operations, off the books and away from the public eye. The plastic-faced man is her shadowy right hand outside of the corporation. Shing doesn't bother with a glass. She takes a long bowl off the stinking bottle and wipes her mouth with the back of her hand. And I know how to find him, too. I've made contact with an information broker, Jiaoji, who works out of the abandoned night market in Shek Mei, called the Shing House Court. It's not hard to find. And cheers to you, kindly. Not for you, Molly. You're not old enough yet. Anyways, Jiaoji has gained access to the plastic-faced man's complete itinerary. Where he'll be, who he'll be with, what sort of security he'll have, the works. You can use it to perform an extraction. Grab him and find out what he knows. Got it. Go to Ship K Mei. Shek K Mei. Look for a night market and find an information broker. Easy. Yes, it's all very straightforward until it's not. Lee Tai Lung has designed himself to be the perfect corporate operative. He's installed a unique piece of headwear, you see. It allocates and compartmentalizes client-related memories so that they can be erased upon completion of a job. As an added security measure, this cortical implant will wipe his memory if it detects that he's been captured. It's not one thing, it's another. So we need a way to circumvent an implant. Exactly. Unless you can find a way around the cortical implant, you'll have no way to extract the information he has and figure out what happened to Raymond Black. Or Edward Zhang, however you want. Now I've done my part in this, my darling. You need to find a way to neutralize the device. Excuse me. Isabel interjects, her voice breaking slightly. I know a way. I've heard of something like this before. I met someone in the Matrix who had to... shirk a similar memory wipe implant once. Sorry, I'm reading this, and unfortunately the game isn't in full screen, so I can see, make sure that all, the stream's still going, there's no internet problems or anything like that. So the text is about, probably 6 font, so sometimes I mess up with reading. Apologies! I might do a comparison in YouTube, hey, this is how big I'm reading. Jenna always says I have, crazy eyesight, I don't know. I think it's just fun. Anyways, I met someone in the Matrix who had to shirk a similar memory wipe implant once. It was a requirement for a big job, and she pulled it off. Keep talking. Her handle is Dreamland, and I know where to find her. All that we need to do is convince her to give up the secret of how she did it. Okay, Isabel and I will go see Dream. Or sorry, excuse me. Sorry, I forgot I was a troll. Sorry. Okay, Isabel and I will go see Dreamland before we hit the information broker. Then we grab the plastic-faced man. No matter who you choose to help you snatch this guy, I'm gonna be there when you extract the information from him about Raymond. Wu crosses his arms across his chest and tilts his head towards you. You got it, Pod? You should all be there. God's eyebrows are high. I know that I want to see this. Very good, my darlings. Now, listen to me. After you get what you need from the plastic-faced man, I want you to end him. You understand? Triboss taps the table with her finger. I need to send a very clear message that this is what happens when you mess with Kindly Shang's operations. With Kindly Shang's people. Josephine takes Nightjar, I take her plastic-faced man. Like, seriously, did Kindly have relations with Nightjar? Because it's kind of sounding like, should I be worried about my position? Should Pod be worried about what might be happening later with Kindly? I don't know. I don't know. Once you snatch the plastic-faced man, Zane will know something is happening, and events will unfold very quickly after that. You'd best close out any pressing business you have before heading to Check Hetme to see Jiaoji. AKA, complete any side quests or any other jobs that you have before you do this, because it'll be the end game. Do you understand? Once I snatch the plastic-faced man, I turn off the lights in the Shadowrun store and lock the door. Check. Such a colorful way of saying it. Just be sure your affairs are in order before you head to the information broker. Alright. Well. Let's go and... Alright. Oh, yeah. That's the other reason why I like doing the other thing. We're having keyboard access. It lets me do this a little bit faster. Oh, yeah, we've already talked to them. I think we're done with this at this point. How much money do I got? Yeah, not enough. Alright. Oh, whoops, sorry. Yeah, no new news from her. I think all we need to do... Oh, yeah. Ah. I think we just need to, yeah, I can... I mean, since it's on the laptop, it's, yeah, that's not happening. And, yeah, Molly, like I said, when Molly decides that she is settled, Molly is settled. And as you can see, she is very settled. Alright, mission comp. Anything else on here? Right, more notes. From Crafty. Slain, while I was blazing through my mom's journals, something struck me. We spent so much time reading about the walled city that we haven't thought to look at it, to paint a picture with the information that we've been gathering. So I contacted a friend of mine, Riley at Decker, and asked her to pull some data for me. Her results were surprising, and for what it's worth, I think we're onto something. Riley dug up records of things like reported sleep disturbances, psychotic breaks, HKPF responses to called activities, etc. She found that they all form a classic bullseye heat pattern around the walled city. She couldn't find any data from within the walled city itself, but the outside data was still enough to establish the pattern inside the slum. This has got to be more than a coincidence. It's too unnatural to be attributed to anything else. I don't know what it means yet, but I've got my nose to the books, and I'll let you know what I find out. One other thing, that last email I sent you, the one with my mother's notes, I went ahead and reread it, and that took me back to the source text, and I was able to pull something else from her list. This isn't much, but it seems to be pretty consistent across her ramblings. If I'm reading it right, it's kind of like a set of rules that govern the interactions of the Yama Kings. It's surprisingly bureaucratic if I'm reading it right. The most interesting tidbit is this. There's something here about the Kings being unable to back down in a deal. If they give an inch, they forfeit everything. from what I'm reading, the Yamakings have their own code of laws, but they don't have to follow them unless you know how to call them on it. Like, they break the rules all the time, but if you can't... Molly, are you good? You started to stomp. Okay, anyways. If you know how to call them on it. Like, they break the rules all the time, but if you can't cite chapter and verse on which rule they're breaking, it doesn't matter to them. Approach from a place of wisdom, though, and you can bind them with their own laws. Anyway, this is all really arcane stuff, but I think that there might be something here. I can't vouch for any of it, obviously, when you take a step back. It sounds like crazy talk, but one thing I can tell you for certain, my mother believed it was true. If anything else comes up, you'll be the first to know. Crafty. Urgent problem. From Baojian Ju. We have a problem to solve. It's urgent. Meet me at the Mahjong parlor. Kindly's orders. Strangler bow. Okay. No money there. Do we have any pay to? No. Anything to claim? Yeah, we do. Hey, a little bit more money. Alright, any relevant stuff? Alright. Explosions in the Eastern District. What's up with all the explosions rocking the Eastern District? My walls are just shaking. Word has it, Shioi's has a secret lab tucked away in an old industrial building out there. I'm guessing the rumor's true. Correction, I think Shioi's had a lab out here. It's really stinking where I'm at. It's a cross between sulfur and, weirdly, new car smell. I wonder what they're doing. Better put on your gas mask for good measure, man. Decker looking for a team. Uh-oh. Experienced Decker looking for team to run with. Potential for longer-term arrangement. Uh-oh. I've taken over the business interests of the team of runners running basic heists and the occasional transfer gig. I'm in contact with a reliable fixer, and I'll be working with the old team's long list of happy clients. Requirements. You must not take experimental distance during runs. You must not tamper with the chemicals in secret labs. You must know how to properly operate a moped. You must listen to your decker when your decker says, I don't have control of that turret yet. You must have a good sense of humor. Optional. Hey, what happened to give me some new Yin 888? I recognize this ad. It's his boilerplate. His team was always looking for a new decker. What the hell happened? You see that fourth item on the requirements list? Aw, shit, that's nuts. Are all of them gone? Muffin Top Ninja? Captain Scone? All of them. Even Explodey Sue. I hardly got to know them, but they were good people. What a terrible loss. You had no idea you were running the Shadows with, huh? Explodey was a great war hero. Tough as nails. Could have tipped the scales for Taiwan if she hadn't knocked herself out with the force of her own mana blast at a crucial moment. No shit. It gets better. Muffin Top Ninja was one of the most revered martial arts masters in the JIS until his health began to fail. He was well known for his self-deprecating humor, and Give Me Some New Yin 888 was a great philanthropist. Every credit he earned, he poured back into helping the indigent population of the walled city where he grew up. In Captain Scone, I kind of chuckled at his name, but now I'm thinking there's some more to it. I'll say he was a Scottish separatist who campaigned tirelessly for the restoration of his country. Excuse me. When his activism drew too many enemies, he fled and became a pillar of the Scottish expat community in HK. As for his name, think Stone of Scone. These amazing people just couldn't catch a break. Now this. Rip. I'm mortified. I wish I'd gotten to know them better. I wish I'd gotten that turret down faster. Seems like you knew them very well then. I suppose so. I'm a Decker who responded to one of their first ads. My gut said not to join them, but we developed a lot of mutual respect over the years. Never thought I'd live to see one of their Deckers live. Well, although it would make two Deckers, I don't suppose you'd like to team up? I don't think so. No. Rigger Doc. Going through the archives. Anybody get work done by an expat named Deleted? He's rigged Stockwire out in Deleted, but I hear he's better than most Autodocs. Yeah, so ends the grand saga of looking for Decker. Post deleted. Read the rules, everyone. No calling out personal specifics or addresses of potentially active operators. Keep it to handles, generalities, and city sectors. At least 9 corporate bots are crawling the Haven as we speak. It's the real deal, yo. He saw it and he's in with us. I'm sick of... Molly, you're falling. I'm sick of saying it. Anyone who gets Chrome installed by some hack running dockware in a converted restroom deserves the horrible nerve degeneration they'll die from. This guy saw you up, you'll pay for it. Slottable dockware can't replace a real surgeon. Period. The tech isn't there yet. I scoped out the doc in question. I'm gonna have to rain on your party. Thought. He's basically a family doc who moonlights doing basic cyber. Nice guy, but he's no hitter. Just a big bullshitter. You don't know shit. Maybe Tin Helmet is him. Who knows? Anyways. That was archives. From way back when. In the day. Alright, so let's go talk with our group. Ractor, you psychopath. Ractor Shop is alive with motion. Wall-mounted tools, hammer, and spark, each according to its own rhythm. The cacophony reverberates in the metal confines of the converted engine room, attacking your ears as... Excuse me, as the light... Or attacking your... Oh, attacking your ears as the light of acetylene torches stabs your eyes. My friend, I don't know the meaning, but people say it. Welcome back. Ractor turns towards you. His boots are off, and you can see the metallic gleam of his feet. Freed from the confines of his boot, the appendages have unfolded. Clawed, gripping toes splay out in all directions, at least 8 to a foot. They look alien and predatory, like talons of some great carnivorous bird. He may be a psychopath, but he's our psychopath. I wasn't convinced that you want to continue our little chats after the last time. From under the desk, a glint of light clutches your eye. Koshe, buddy. I'm glad that I was wrong. Are you kidding? I'm going to miss our talks with the world. I'm pleased to hear you say so. I'd rather enjoy them myself. So, what shall we talk about? Ractor, what's up with your feet? The replacements I was fitted with all those years ago. The mini talon-like toes that splay out from his feet clawed the ground, scraping against the metal flooring. They've been modified somewhat between then and now, as you can see. Improved. What animal did you base your design on? The claws were inspired by the harpy eagle. Quite a majestic creature, a hunter of primates, you know. The quality was, the quantity? The quantity was driven by, quality was driven by artistic license. Impractical, perhaps, but they please me all the same. Alright, I'm gonna have to, sorry, the screen is so small. I need a bigger laptop screen. Give me a big screen! Alright, sorry, Molly. You okay? That's all that matters. All that matters is making sure Molly's okay. And she's still okay. I'll actually see if I can... point the camera down a little bit more. Uh-oh. I'll see if I can point it down a little bit more. There we go. I mean, who cares about seeing me? That doesn't matter. Alright. Hello, Molly. Anyways. Impractical, perhaps, but they please me all the same. I see the shop is up and running again. What are you working on now? More options for Koshe, as always. He's still far from perfect. At every iteration inches him closer. I have questions for you about something that you mentioned last time. Yes, I imagine you do. Go on then, ask away. Dun, 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 dun. said you were diagnosed as a psychopath when you were 8. What led to that diagnosis? My mother had me tested. She always kept a watchful eye on me. Obsessively so, truth be told. It was a rather poor way to experience childhood. Why was she watching you? What did you do? Very little. She blew my childhood behaviors out of proportion, I'm afraid. A woman had always been motivated by fear. She had her reasons, I suppose. Define very little for me. A neighbor had a pet rooster. It would crow at strange hours and wake me up. It woke everybody up. We all hated that rooster. So one day I cut its throat with a hobby knife. Did this bird have a name? Chanticleer. I suppose that my neighbor thought himself very clever. He was a self-congratulatory fool, and his bird was a pest. So I gave it the send-off that it deserved. You killed a neighbor's pet. That isn't very little. In a puritanical mood, aren't we? So tiresome. I eliminated a public nuisance. You steal and kill for money. Next time you feel like moralizing, focus on your own ethical deficiencies. As I was saying, my mother walked in on me as I was studying the body. One look and I could see in her eyes grim certainty and a sense of righteous justification for a lifetime of suspicion. She hauled me before a psychiatrist the next day. So after you're diagnosed, what happened? I learned what was expected of me. The doctor was very helpful in that regard. He offered false hope and placebos and false promises that he could cure me if my family met his price, and to me he offered an escape. All I had to do was play along and my problems would be solved. It wasn't difficult to pretend I had been cured. Once I understood the outward signs that my mother was looking for, I was able to ape them well enough. In time, my mother came around. In your place, I'd have done the same thing. Of course you would have. Anyone would. Not everybody would succeed, of course, at risk of sounding immodest. My natural talents for acting and mimicry are quite impressive. And I had an incentive to play my role well. My grandfather lived out his final days in Black Dolphin Prison. Do you know the place? I've heard stories. It is a storied place. One of the most appalling detainment facilities in Russia. And that's saying quite a lot. I was determined not to follow in the old man's footsteps. I am not an animal to be caged. Rachters bends down, runs his fingers over Koshay's chassis. The drone stands motionless, the lens of its many optical sensors focused on you. In any case, there you have it. I'm glossing over... What? Weird. Anyway, sorry. I'm glossing over many of the details, of course, but I'd rather not discuss my childhood any further. Instead, let us think of the future and the promise that it holds. So in your ideal future, people without empathy, morality, or humanity will replace the rest of us. That sound about right? Yes, people like me. Tell me, my friend, what does that make you feel? What is your gut reaction to the vision that I have shared with you? I'm comfortable with it. It's a dog-eat-dog world. I've known that since I was a kid. His eyes light with excitement. Good. Very good. I am pleasantly surprised. The Sixth World is no place for compassion. It is a predatory world, a world of monsters. Some of those came with the awakening, and others are of our own design, but they are there. If our species is to thrive, we need to shed those weaknesses that prevent us from asserting our dominance. I speak with the clarity of a man who is not a man, in mind or in body. The things that others refuse to see are as plain to me as the light of day. I tell you, my friend, life is better this way. One day you'll see it for yourself, and you will thank me for what I have shared with you. So if what you believe is true, if people with your condition will inherit the earth, how long do you think that can last? Indefinitely. What makes you ask? Psycho. I dealt with people like you in the Barrens all the time. More often than not, they killed each other off. You're suggesting that we'll burn ourselves out, annihilate ourselves. I will concede that is possible, but I think it unlikely. This is the sixth world, after all. Even if meta-humanity is supplanted by post-humanity, there will be other forces at work in the world. We will not be alone. You'll probably share the world with machine intelligences. We're on the cusp of it already. Some even say we have already seen true AI. Have you heard of Codex? Codex Bot? Amazing piece of work, isn't it? I had a teammate back in Berlin who insisted as much, though I had little reason to believe her. As you say, we will likely have to contend with artificial intelligence in the near future, but think of the present, my friend. We are surrounded by non-human intelligences. Spirits, paranormal beings, you name it. Jibot, yeah. I actually clipped that and added it to the Twitch VODs. I'll probably add it to the YouTube later too. Spirits, paranormal beings, you name it. And then the future that I foresee. You can add any metahuman holdovers that cling to their natural bodies to the list. And your solution for dealing with these problematic species would be... That remains to be seen. Ideally, we would take the cleanest, simplest approach to dealing with them. What that approach might be would depend on as much on them as it would on us. I, for one, am looking forward to seeing how it plays out. Aren't you? So where do we go from here? Forward, my friend. Always forward. Silently, Koschei studies you, its articulated pillops weaving hypnotically. You will join me, won't you? The future beckons the both of us equally. Follow me, and I will guide you into a better tomorrow. I can think of nothing that would please me more. So which, I mean, I'm not gonna say he's sick. Podwick knows the, how the, reality goes in this case, but... Oh, sorry, I thought she had a little thing on her. Alright, Molly, come on. Up, climb up. Climb up a little bit more. There you go, Molly. Good, Molly. Ah, gosh. Also, she's shedding so much. I don't know if you can see it. Like, her hair, it just kind of flies everywhere. So it keeps hitting me in the face. And actually, some of it has landed in my glass. But it is... After living with the dogs for many years, I have drank more than my share, your share, his share, her share of dog hair, unfortunately. Not always on purpose. Sometimes I'm just lazy. Or I have a dog stuck on me and I can't do anything about it. Bob would lean towards one. Yeah. If and when your future comes to pass, I'll be there with you to see it. I love a challenge. Good. Very good. I am pleased. But in the immediate future, there is a small matter of the walled city to contend with. I will, of course, continue to help as best I can. I need allies as badly as you do, and it is in my best interest to keep them alive. Good. Let's keep it that way. You have nothing to fear, my friend. I am your friend. You can trust me. And now, if you'll excuse me. I know the drill. I'll show myself out. You see, you know me so well it's as if we share a single mind. Goodbye. I think that is it for Raptor's storyline, by the way. Oh, no more box of memories. Yeah, I had to hide my nice stuff too. Welcome back. What can I do for you, Slane? Oh, I think we're done with Gaichus too.
Do you regret having to kill your unit?
No, I do not believe I do. We were locked in a dance that could only end with my death or theirs. We chose that path, consciously or not, and I am unwilling to die so that they could live. I value my life, even changed as it is. Excuse me. Their insistence on following the strictures of their duty ensured this end, just as surely as my refusal to die did. I regret only that circumstance and training led us to this point. They were still family to me, even at the end. But if your family turned on you and tried to kill you, you would still defend yourself. Good night, buddy. Same to you, my friend. And he means it. We're just temporary allies, me and Ractor. We will definitely have a fight at the end of this all. No more dreams. Duncan, what up? The clanking of metal followed by grunts from hard exercise erupt from the hatchway of Wu's cabin. The first thing you notice when you enter is renewed cleanliness. The food cans are gone and his equipment is neatly laid down on his bedding. Everything in its place. The next thing you notice is the smell. It's like a middle school locker room in July. Wu finishes his jumping jacks and grabs the towel off his bunk. His exposed flesh gleams with perspiration.
Hey. Hey, how's it going?
Better. He scrubs his sweaty head with the towel. I let myself wallow for a while, but now it's time to turn things around. We have work to do. What's your deal?
Still thinking about Edward?
Compartmentalized him. Edward is a topic of a file cabinet in my head. I'm only thinking about Raymond now. Finding out what happened to him. What really happened to him.
Still think he's alive?
More than ever. Raymond's alive. I'm sure of it.
We're getting close to the plastic-faced man, Duncan.
I know. I haven't stopped thinking about him since we first saw him in that video. The one where he attacked Raymond in the tea house. Wipes down one side of his neck with a towel, folds it, and wipes down the other side. Listen, Pod, I'm not going to press you to take me with you when you head out to snatch him. You take the right people for the job, then you get the job done, okay? But I want to be there when you interrogate him. I want to hear what he has to say with my own ears. Are you going to have a problem with that?
No, of course not.
Good. We're brothers. I hate to have to mess you up. Like I said, you can take me with you on the run or not, it's your call, but I intend to be there for the fun part.
Oh, we'll both have fun with Mr. Plastic Face.
Good. Let's go to town on him together. This is the guy who knows what the hell is going on. One who may have killed Raymond. I'm gonna squeeze him until I find out what his fucking ancestors know.
We'll do what we gotta do to get the answers we need.
Damn right.
You told me you were resentful when I took off, but maybe it was how Raymond handled that thing with Double Trey.
Nah, it was about you disappearing for 8 years without a word. But we're past that now. Will pulls his right elbow across his chest with his left hand. Gets a good stretch. But that was a messed up night. A lot of things happened, and I wouldn't be surprised if some, I don't know, emotions got jumbled together.
Stuff about the old gang?
That was part of it, sure. I'm still carrying that around, but mostly it was about Raymond. We butted heads before. I'd broken plenty of his rules in the past, but I'd never seen him so disappointed. Still not sure why. I never figured it out.
Well, you can walk through it from the beginning. Start with when Lockjaw showed up at Ray's house.
Wu pulls his left elbow across his chest and lets out a little groan. So this was 2045, years after the summer we moved in with Raymond. I hadn't seen DT or Lockjaw or any of the gang forever. Raymond's rules, no contact with our hoodlum friends. No visiting the squad to check up on them.
We're even allowed to see that Atzlin family and their dog.
Yeah, and you and that damn dog. I swear, you two should have moved in together and left us out of it. He doesn't mean that, Molly. He doesn't mean that. The way I remember it, we woke up in the middle of the night and there was Lockjaw staying in our room, covered in blood. First thought was that Raymond was going to kill us. Can you imagine? There's a teenage Southern Indian covered in blood in our room, and my first thought was I might get in trouble for it.
Raymond was an intimidating guy when we were young.
Isn't that weird? I towered over him, and it just didn't matter. Little man had that way of looking at you, that tone. Wu throws his elbow behind him, twists at the waist. So Lockjaw's bleeding all over our bedroom with your whisperer yelling, "Where's DT? What happened to Double Tray?" 5 minutes later, we're dressed in black and on our way back to the Barrens.
We had to.
Of course, if it wasn't for Double Tray, neither of us would be here right now. DT was the one who took us to the teen center and introduced us to Raymond. Man, that was a messed up night. 162s had overrun the Leary squad, better position to take on the Nukes. Benzo and Tusk were bleeding out. Amanda's family was half-eaten, and little Joe, the streetwalker with the electric false eyelashes, was lying on the floor in 2 parts.
But we got Double Tray out alive.
He was the only one, though. I can still hear Lockjaw screaming as the ghouls took him down. When the 162s wanted something, they did not play. Anyway, all of that was just lead up. But still, it speaks to my state of mind that night. Why I went back down when Raymond met us at the door.
Neither one of you would budge.
We both had the strength of the righteous. You and I had broken his rules out of loyalty, out of gratitude. He just didn't get that.
He never understood where we came from.
And now we know why. He wasn't just some do-gooder who took in street kids. He was a rich guy used to getting his way. That's what made him so furious.
I don't know, Duncan. I think it's because he thought we were playing him.
I never thought of it that way before. Huh. He didn't just think we had broken his rules or that we backslid. He thought that we were still street hoods. That we were milking him, using him. No wonder he was so angry. He felt betrayed. But you you were able to get him to calm down and see reason. Get him to see my side of the story. All he said was that one thing. That thing he said his mother used to say to him when we were being obstinate. What the hell was that?
Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply.
Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Yeah, that intent to reply thing really got to him. He saw that every time I was talking, he was thinking of the next thing to say back. Using his mother's words on him really did the trick. I wonder what kind of childhood he had. But the way he looked at you after that...
We were never the same.
Yeah, well, look. You and I are cool now, and as for Edward, maybe he's got mommy issues. Who knows? Maybe I got a few daddy issues to deal with, too. Guess I should try to keep an open mind when we see him.
Alright, later, buddy.
Alright. Isobel. Slane, you're back. Need something?
Walled City time. Never mind. What about that last run where we blew up a ship?
You know what drives me crazy about Gobbet? She does shit like this all the time. She doesn't think about anything, not about the risks she takes, the consequences of her actions, or how her behavior can hurt her friends. She just jumps headfirst into whatever crazy scheme she's got in her head and damn everyone else. Maybe after all this she'll finally learn her lesson. At least Cadmus and the others got off the sinking ship before it blew. They might have failed to stop Malvina, but at least they tried. Gobbet lost a lot of friends and family to that bitch, so go easy on her for a bit, okay? At least the problem's been solved for good. Anything else you need to know?
Bye-bye.
Gobbet? Stepping into Gobbet's cabin, you find her crouching on the floor. She appears to be midway through a valiant struggle against an enormous pastry. Her cheeks bulge out like a chipmunk's, and wispy threads of pork floss hang from her crumbed, speckled lips. She glances up at you, her eyes wide with alarm.
No. Oh, no.
Anyways, that's Gobbit, aka Molly.
You know, between the two of you, my money's on the pastry. You got yourself into this. I want to see you get out of it. Think of it like a spectator sport. Oh, alright, fine. Here, drink your water.
She tilts back the pitcher and sucks down its contents. As water pours into her mouth, she's slowly able to work through stored in her cheeks. Finally, she lowers the water pitcher, coughing. Okay, yeah. Oh. Note to self, the pastry terrace of Prince Edward Road makes them dry. She takes another swig from the pitcher, grimacing. Moist green apple and jelly trotter my ass. Thing was like a desert made of pig.
I'd eat it.
Hey, if you want it, it's all yours. Drink lots of water, though. She tosses the remaining pastry to you. Sails through the air. Pork plastic clings to its outer layers, flutters suggestively. Yeah, I'll take it. Snatch the flying pork brick out of the air. Surprisingly dense, with a heft roughly equivalent to that of a softball. Yeah, I'm a troll. I'll eat anything. Raise the pastry to your lips and take a bite. A second later, you feel all the moisture in your mouth evaporate. Gobbit wasn't lying. This thing is dry. Flavor is surprisingly palatable, though. She blinks at you in astonishment. Huh. I can't believe you ate that. I'm impressed. If I ever get another one of those again, I'm going to let it sit in a bowl of condensed milk for at least half an hour before I try putting it in my mouth. That might help. I don't know. Reconstitute it, I guess. I don't know. It might work. Anyway, you probably want to talk about what happened on the raft, huh? I think in your place I would.
Any thoughts about that last run?
I think they're both the same. Yeah, of course I do. I mean, it's kind of a big deal, you know. We've already said pretty much everything there is to be said, though, haven't we? I mean, it's not like we didn't go over this already with the important lessons about responsibility and all that.
Well, let's go more into it anyways.
Yeah, we can do that. First off, I should thank you. You and Iz came to help me, even though I didn't ask you to or want you to. Actually, maybe I should be upset about that, but the important thing is that you did help me. I'm not going to say that I couldn't have handled it without you, but it would have been really, really dicey.
It would have been fine. Me and Iz, we just made it a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, sure you did. Thanks. On the bright side, we sent that fucker to the bottom of the bay. Whole stinking ship and Malvina and her shiny object along with it. We even got Cadmus and his people off first. I probably wouldn't have managed that on my own. They'd all gone down with the ship.
You don't know that for sure. You might have rescued some of them.
Nope. I'd already decided not to. Before you and Iz showed up, I pretty much made up my mind to scuttle the raft and send everyone on it to a watery grave. Probably wouldn't even felt bad about it afterwards. I mean, who would have been around to tell me I was wrong? Nobody, that's you, because they'd be dead. Kind of makes me think, how many times before now have I done what seemed like the right thing, you know, follow my gut like I taught you, without realizing there was a better option? This whole introspection thing kind of sucks, I gotta say. It's much more comforting to just assume that all my past decisions were right.
Sure it is. It's intellectually dishonest, but it's definitely comforting.
Ugh. Yeah. You know, Seattle, you aren't helping my mood any. I'm having kind of a rough time over here. She begins to pace, kicking piles of dirty clothes and blankets out of the way. Thrusting her hands into her pockets, she fishes out madness and folly and tosses them down into her cot. I don't do this very often. Liking's for mirrors, not just devastatingly attractive street surroundings. I don't know how you hand-wringers deal with feeling this way.
By hand-wringers, do you mean people who learn from their mistakes?
I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really do this kind of thing, so tell me what to do next. What comes after this?
Am I teaching you a lesson now, Gabbit? Is there some role reversal going on here?
Yes, oh wise one. You're teaching me. Now quit being smug about it and give me an answer.
I don't know, Gabbit. Try to learn from your mistake. Be a grown-up. It's not that hard.
Huh. Your way is boring, Seattle, and it's complicated. It comes with way too many bad feelings. But yeah, I get it. There's probably even some value there. I'm never going to start second-guessing everything I do, though. That's just not me.
Maybe you could start second-guessing some things when new information presents itself.
What a novel concept. Yes, Seattle, I can do that, and I will from now on. Cross my heart. Anyway, things turned out the way that they did. I don't know what might have happened if we tried to do something different, but there's one thing that I can say for certain. Things are better in Hong Kong Bay than they were before we went to the sinking ship. We did some good out there, and that's something.
Yeah. It is. I'll be kind this time.
Oh, actually, there are two things that I can say for certain. I think that Rad is happy with the shiny object is gone. She fishers in her pocket for a second, then produces a chunk of stone the size of a marble. Appears to be made from the same marbled red jade that the shiny object was. Check it out, she gave me a present.
Gobbit, are you sure that came from Rat?
Of course I am. I had a vision. It had colorful lights, dancing rodents, the works. And when the world came back into focus, this magic marble was in the palm of my hand. She tossed the stone into the air and catches it with her other hand. Neat, huh? Now, I don't know quite how it works yet, but I'm sure it does something. I mean, it has to, right? Rat wouldn't give me a normal rock. She's a trickster after all, but that'd be mean. So mark my words, next time we're in the field, something magical is going to happen. I mean, literally magical. It'll be a journey of discovery for both of us.
Oh, maybe look forward to that.
Me too, and thank you, Seattle. I really, really mean that. You can fly by my side anytime.
Gotcha, Iceman. Same here. Maverick out.
Alright, I think I'm 90% sure that's all the NPC stories that we got. And, Molly, you are being a silly, lazy goose. Okay, so we have so many things we can do now. Let's go ahead and just start from the top. We'll go to Emperor's Tomb. Liberate some artifacts. That sounds fun. Oh, whoops. Yeah, Bo said to meet him here. Before I forget. Strangler bow. Strangler bow spins impassively, muscular arms folded across his chest. The low noise and stale smell of Michonne parlor seems to glance off him, like rain off this granite statue. He acknowledges you with a nod, a quarter of an inch. His rumbling bass voice seems to vibrate the floorboards. Ye have a problem. Maximum law. He's been talking in the Matrix about your jobs. It's drawing attention. Kindly wants him to shut up.
Whatever. He's an excitable techie.
He's got a big mouth and an underdeveloped sense of consequences.
Law isn't being discreet. He needs to be discreet.
Bowles leans forward just a little, shifting onto the balls of his feet, like a tilting slab of concrete. Your job is to fix the situation. Don't bother finding me when you're done unless there's something to clean up. I got better things to do with my time. Any questions?
What do you mean by fix the situation?
Just make him shut up. Whatever happens to the law doesn't matter to anyone. He has no family here. No standing.
Why doesn't the Yellow Lotus handle this?
We are. Did you forget? You're an instrument of the Yellow Lotus.
Seems ironic that you're handling this.
Just take care of it, Slane.
Fine, I'll take care of it. If you need to kill him, don't make a neighborhood scene. That upsets people. Do this like you're from here, respectful of the peace. It may be difficult. You'll probably need to do it on that boat of his. He almost never leaves it. And this needs to be handled soon. Strangler Bow grunts and nods almost imperceptibly as if to signal the end of the conversation. Thank you, Slane. Your skill is appreciated. Goodbye, Mr. Bow.
Alright, guess we gotta tell no more talky talk of our jobs. Time to tell him to shut up or we shut him up. And then he'll, don't mess with the law. Well, I'm about to mess with the law right now. Law, speaking to the air as you approach, his bulky goggles flash with an unusually diverse array of conditions lights. Yo, T0, I gotta go, man. This is the cat I was telling you about. Goggle servos whine softly as the set of lenses focus on you. Slane, what's going on? What have you been up to?
My notoriety precedes me, I see.
Hey, that's what you get for being vicious. So what can I hook you up with today?
Law, we need to talk, privately. It's important.
Oh, I am your man for that. Law glances furtively around with an almost comic furtiveness, bulky goggles weaving. Here, I can't leave the palace.
That's okay. We can talk here. Just keep your voice down and turn off your open flame for a moment.
Oh, you got it. Anybody ever tell you you're kind of a spooky guy, Slane? You kinda are. Law's about obscures you from the shore, and his bulky piles of tarp-shielded electronics somewhat obscure you from the boardwalk. Concealment is poor and dynamic at best, but at least the lanes of visibility are combined. I dig the shadiness. I dig it. Now I'm your man for serious business. What's up?
We have an information hygiene problem. You've ID'd my crew on the chat boards.
People talk, whatever, it's no big deal. BBS and report boards are secure. This is what Wimpoa does. We handle info, and right now your face is golden in Wimpoa.
Always getting heat because of what you've said, Law. We're all in trouble. You, most of all.
For real? Come on, man. I mean, it's the BBS. I guess we shoot the shit while playing games sometimes too, but I play with great guys. We're all Wimpoan, and they're totally watching my back. Seriously, there's a problem. It's totally from somewhere else. And you're serious, aren't you? Oh, fuck no, man. What have I done? He swallows hard. Sweat runs and streams down his face from under his VR goggles. He breathes heavily. Quick glance around reveals that there's a lull in the usually busy foot traffic on the nearby docks. Only a few people are in sight. This may be the only opportunity to kill him. I've actually never killed him. I've never done it before. I'm kind of debating. Well, Pod of the Wick is not a nice man. I am spooky. Any struggle is lightning to draw attention. Without silenced weapons or drugs or special magic, there are very few ways to dispatch Law here quickly and quietly. This will take some strength or skill. The wires from the hull sign hum with voltage. An arc of blue-white electricity jumps between their exposed cores. These could easily electrocute a person, or two people if you were part of the circuit. Law is looking at you expectantly.
Only a few people have line of sight on you in law. You can see them from the corner of your eye. There's a distant boom and clatter. The people on the docks all look away towards the sound. Oh. He doesn't want to die. I know this. This is the problem with me being such a good, naturally good guy, because I hate doing this. Wires could be an accident. Yeah. I'm not gonna kill him. At least not in the main game. I might make a clip of it or something like that, but nah. This place is too busy and the concealment is too sparse. You have to talk law into a solution. What is your community? People here watch out for each other. Honor that. Keep quiet. What should I do, Slane? Keep your mouth shut, play smart, you'll be fine. Thanks, Slane, says as he's, looks like he's about to be sick. His voice is so faint. You just came very close to dying. Seriously, you really don't know how close you were. Alright, let's, how much money I got? 1409? Yeah, not enough for the better weapons. Actually, what are my stats again? What was I needing to do? Okay, I need to get... I had intelligence to 4. I need to get these to 8 to get some of the stuff I was wanting to get, I think. Or was it getting... Was it that, or was it getting the... Am I trying to get one of the good weapons here? I need close combat 7. I think I was going to go for... I wonder what the difference in all these is. Yeah, I want to get one of these. Okay, actually... Yeah, I do kind of want to know, but I guess I'm... Honestly, just style-wise, it's going to be either the Ares Monosword or the Laser Axe. Anyways. But I need Close Combat 7, and that's going to be a while. Did I talk to you all yet? I'll wait. Let's just go ahead and do a run. Alright. Let's loot a dig site. Boom, boom, boom. And here we go. Oh, sorry about that. Actually, okay, I hate doing this sort of thing, but I am just very curious on the differences between those. Okay. So I spoiled myself. Apparently I missed one of the best swords of the game on Gobbet's mission, so yay. Oh well. Spooky sun. Alright, so this job is a golden opportunity in more ways than one. A raid of the In-Development Museum, the Emperor's Tomb. The museum's claim to fame is its location. It rests on top of aged catacombs, where excavation is underway to convert them into the museum proper. Intel has it that the workers are dying, not from on-site accidents, but from magical disturbances in the area. Despite the hazards, development continues. Your client, Mr. Drake, contacted you to retrieve 2 tomes, probably ancient, magical, priceless, but it won't be a smash in the park. You have to get the tomes before they're cataloged, where they'll afterward be near impossible to access. As you near the museum, its height and grandeur looms unsettlingly over you. Even unfinished, it's reached an imposing size. At least that means it has plenty of room for pricey antiques. The best part, Mr. Drake needs his run to look unprofessional. Shattered glass and looting is encouraged. Alright, so I have a couple of these. I don't think we'll need them. I think we should be okay. We'll see. Make this. Sorry, Molly. Don't mind that. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep going. Entry worked just like Drake said. You creep into the dark, unfinished site. Your comlink clicks in your ear. Good. No, I'll be appraising what you see as you go through this floor. Grab the best stuff, and my alarm suppression should keep you afloat. Just don't get too ballsy. If the books haven't been cataloged yet, they'll still be in the basement. The tomb. I'll be in touch. The earpiece clicks off. Call disconnected. Game and stay on the line long enough for you to get a word in. Your team powers up the nearby generator. Work lights along the new marble flooring sleepily flicker to life. Everyone surveys the site. Guide tilts his head towards the light. The work lamps act as lighthouses for his blind eyes, exposing the layout of the hall. Takes in the breath of dusty air. There's nothing alive in these halls but us. A welcome change. Isabel clears her throat. Clock's ticking. This place gives me the creeps even without Mr. Shambles over here. Let's nab these books and get out. Alright, so... Okay, well, there is a lot of stuff that we can steal. I want to wait before we start taking everything. Obviously, going to be a fight in here because of that. I see you, dragon lines. Wonder how I'll get in there. Okay, is that 1400? Yeah, I think that's definitely the most we've seen so far. Alright. Open Sesame. Check bookshelf. This bookshelf is made from your standard stained wood. It's filled with books by famous poets, both English and Chinese. Let's use our intelligence. You find several books that aren't organized properly, and they don't appear to be poetry. Removing the books and thumbing through them reveals nothing else unusual. Well, then I'll use my brute strength. You throw the books from the shelves and then break each shelf in half, exposing the back of the bookshelf. Knock on the back panel and reveals a hollow space behind the picture. That's unusual. Whoopsie! I broke some stuff. Inspect this. These firearms are relics as well. Maybe value to a history professor. Ooh, 21. Okay, this is the good stuff. Hello. Alright. So we can get 9 more things. And I think there was an optional thing to get 10,000. Oh, we can do that. Welcome, Lao Zhang. Please input your password to log in. Hey, Isabel. Can you open this jar of pickles? On it. She clicks out a few command strings in the terminal. Easy. This section of the OS has a security hole that will let me bypass the password without cracking it. Just have to spoof our user credentials. And here we go. Root menu. File system. Business-related files filled the submenu, most of them about contracts, construction plans, and financial projections. Among the files are several saved emails. 3 of the most recent ones stand out. Museum details. Ciao. Per our previous discussion, I've attached to this email the revised museum blueprints. The prints outline various changes to the structure and building materials that need to be implemented as soon as possible. Some backtracking may be necessary, but it will cut supply and building costs by over 13% without compromising the museum's size and grandeur. I know you're against it, but production output will have to increase in order to meet our end-of-year unveiling. I'll leave it up to you to figure out the details, but if I find you and your team are slacking off again, more cuts will be made. As to the loss of your worker, Mr. Fay, I offer you my condolences. However, we both know construction is dangerous work, and accidents are commonplace. You can look at this as an opportunity to hire someone more competent and who won't get themselves killed. Zhang Lao, Axion Enterprises. On-site accident. Zhang, I processed your informal request yesterday morning. Given a persuasive pittance, the Fay family agreed to forego public retribution regarding the loss of Mr. Koi Fay. Mr. Fay is the 4th laborer lost to hazardous working conditions. Public image is very important to the corporation. Corporation, I think it was supposed to say. And it's unlikely another transgression will go unnoticed. As your lawyer, I must advise you to double down on your construction safety protocols or to seek an alternative to monetary bribes. Money will buy silence in the short term, but we ultimately want a more permanent solution. I'll forward you the contact information of a Gaxian-funded organization that can assist you with such matters. Sung, Melissa, Kaylin, Legal Practice, a Gaxian subsidiary. Retracting investment. Dear Mr. Ping, I can assure you that recent rumors regarding construction infractions, worker fatalities, and malpractice are all untrue. Complete fiction invented by the local gossip circuits to stir up trouble for hardworking men like myself. I've taken every possible precaution with this museum, and I've spared no expense. Should you need proof, I'll send you my lawyer's contact information. I promise you'll find no infractions filed against me or Gaxian Enterprises. Your investment is sound. Your friend, Zhang Lao, Gaxian Enterprises. Boop. Boop. It appears this room is rigged to respond to computer-generated commands. The options are few. Candlelight, business casual, restricted access. Candlelight. The room's lighting fades to an orange hue that flickers aromatically as the electronic candles activate by the doorway. You return to the room controls menu. Business casual. Molly likes to dance. Yeah, so let's go back to Candlelight. Access remote building controls. They are offline. This place is still under construction. Local matrix network hasn't probably been hooked up yet. Okay, fine. Alright, I think we could have done another way rather than busting through the wall like that. But it should be fine. Alright, let's open this door. What is in here? Ooh, security terminal. Hello. It's powered off. Boo. Okay, so we don't want to go downstairs yet, I think. Let's see if we can find any other valuables. Let's see. I think we can do that one. Alright, so we have 5 objects to get to 3,000 more. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Neanderthal. Boom. Valuable thing here. And then this one should do it. Hey, hey, sweetness. And I think it's... this one. Yeah, I don't want to hit the threshold, so okay, good. The guy set it up. The guy that we're doing the job for could block only so many, like, infractions before it overloaded the system, I think. If only more people we were doing jobs for could do it that way. Hey, Molly, I'm sorry, baby. Are you... Can I do the computer like a laptop now? Can I do the computer like a laptop now? The answer is no. Sorry. It's gonna still be kind of awkward. Oh my gosh, Molly. Do not enter. You hear that, Molly? We're not supposed to enter this. But you have an adventure scarf on. You're ready to go. You're ready to have an adventure. No computer, only Snuggles. I know, I know. Oh, hello. Richard, are you still there, by the way? I don't know if he's still watching. Ooh, pick up. Ancient book. Alright. This is our real job. We were supposed to pick some of these things up. The other stuff was just, you know, extra stuff. I hope... I don't think we'll be able to get the full, like, 10,000 something. That'd just be way too crazy, I think. But we'll get a little bit, I think, from the stuff that we've stolen. What? It says, I think that's a combat area in there, so let's not go in there yet. Ooh, shipping terminal. Alright. Finder's fee? Yeah, probably a finder's fee. No. What are you doing? Alright, let's have Isabel hack into this and... Alright, Molly, this is gonna be real-time stuff. I'm so sorry. Bye-bye. Bye, Molly. Bye, Molly. Hey, Molly. Molly, say bye. Oh, gosh, uh-oh. Mistakes have been made. More doggos. No. Alright, guys. Oh, wait a second. Podwick. Pod of the Wick. The star of our game. Pod. Oh. Podwick. Ah. There he is. The man of the game. Hello, Pod of the Wick. He's so grumpy. He did not like being woken up. And then here's Wheatley trying to get me. Hello, Wheatley. Oh, Wheatley. Okay.
Alright, you gotta go. You gotta go. Ah! I'm sorry, Wheelie. Okay, Wheelie. You gotta go. Oh, she likes the camera. She likes being on camera. I can see her smiling. Okay. You've had your moments. Alright. You're good. You're good now. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Wheatley. Bye-bye. Okay, there you go. See? Loving. Loving. There you go. I'll even give you a standing bow wow. Okay. Alright, that's all. You can't fit on my lap. I'm sorry, Wheatley. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Wheatley, please. Okay. There you go. Mm-hmm. This is what she'll do if I let her. She'll just lick and lick and lick. Okay, alright. I gotta go. As everything comes down. Okay, alright. Sorry, folks. Sorry, folks. Oh my gosh. Of course dogs would get everything entangled. Alright. Okay. I love you too, Wheatley. Okay, now I gotta... Nope. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. I love you. I'll pet you more in a little bit, okay? I'll let you give me all the licks and loving in just a little bit. Alright. Oh, no, she can. She can. She has. Definitely. Oh, gosh. Oh. Love you. I just want to make sure they're not saying anything. Okay. So. Back to the game. I'm probably going to cut that for YouTube. See, you Twitch folks get all sorts of special stuff. Watching this live, sorry YouTube, you know, it's just a bunch of dogs going crazy. But, yeah, the camera went everywhere, dogs trying to get into my lap, all that stuff. Just, it'll be on Twitch though still. I might clip it and put it on Twitch anyways. I don't know. Anyways, so... What were we doing? Yes, we were in a shipping container, or a shipping terminal rather, and we're probably supposed to hide behind these. All right, so as that goes forward, I move here, and I move here, so that I'm hidden from both. Ah, dang it. Yeah, we're just skedaddling. Yep. Yeah. Okay, well, that did not go like planned. That's okay. Alright, so whenever this goes that way, I will go. Alright, so you know what, let's just see. Alright, let's do it. Is this one? Oop, whoops, not that one. That one? Nope. I think it's this one. No, it's this one. Okay. That could have gone badly. Hey, more pay data. Alright, so then... Oh gosh. Kitty, why? Kitty. Okay, well, at least you don't take up as much anything. Alright. Alright, let's just do it. Alright, and... Is this one? I think this one. Yeah. Yeah. I'll totally take... Actually, yes. You can take that. That's... Wow. Sweet. Let's go ahead and... I think that's it. This is... definitely a critter stream. Wow. So 2 aims for the price of 1? Yeah, I'll just take that one. Saves me some money from upgrading later on. Okay, so... It says there's an enemy in here I should be aware of, but I don't see any. Oh. I see enemies now. Okay. I just want to get a little bit closer before we... Okay. Alright, let's do it. Let's see which... Okay, first I want to do that. And then I will do metal stance as I'm approaching. So yeah, something that might not have been noted previously is everyone has 3 action points now. Didn't get that. Let's see if we can pop in ahead. That one? Nope. Can we pop in ahead with this one? You got 1. Alright. Gosh. Buddy, kitty. I swear to goodness. Alright. Before you start going off... Actually, let's get you set up behind here. Let's hold off on giving him a bunch of extra actions, and we'll have you sitting way back there. Wow, I'm surprised. Whoops, sorry. Okay. Kitty is very demanding. Kitty. I swear to goodness. Alright, so... Oh my gosh. Hello. Hello, kitty. Alright, fireball. Okay, let's maybe not do fireball yet. Let's get a little bit closer. Or I could just run up. I'll do this. And I'll do wild aim on both of us. Probably should have cast it on someone. Oof. Ouch. Holy moly. Dang it. What the heck? Okay, that's not good. Okay, so let's see if we can get this to work. Nope. Nope. Okay, this is different. Let's get in Heaven's Stance, because we are going to try to kill you real quick. Oh, dang it. Okay, let's see. We need to get Koshe some definite upgrades, because yeah, we are hurting mighty bad. So, alright. Still 77%, I'm surprised. Can you blast his head off with that? That did decent. Maybe will this work? Nope. Holy moly. Wow, willpower -2. Holy whoops. That's not good. That is definitely not good. Okay. Well. Let me... Oh gosh, yeah, my willpower has been sapped to all hell. Ugh. Fine. Let's go for this one. Alright, so Raptor, I'm gonna need you to step back, because there is gonna be some big kablooies in that general direction. And you just enhance Koshe, because yeah, Night at the Museum is happening, very much so. Alright, so let's see, can we mark one of these guys? Sweet. And then Kabushk. And then Kabushk again. Sweet. Oh my gosh. That, I don't know where he's at, but that's definitely not what I like to see. Okay, so... this way? Dang, that did not do nearly as much damage as I thought it would. Let's see. Another one bites the dust. Okay. Ow. Dear Mother of Lords, you're coming from everywhere. Holy moly. Ow. Okay. Let's back you up. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I guess we did that. How many hit points do you have? I can't really tell. He should be okay. Alright. Alright, so let's, Slice. See if we can maybe take him out. I doubt we can, but... Alright. Koshe, gotta do basically everything. And then just run. Okay, let's see, can you take him out? That's one down. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's two down at least. Okay. Do you still have your minus willpower? Not anymore. Okay. Dear Mother of Lords, this has been... Okay. Let's have you back up. Fire. Alright. That's fine. Alright. Let's see if you can hack this to bits. Sweet, sweet. Slain, let's see about this fireball business. Alright, that's decent. What about some lightning bolting? Let's see if we can hit that. Alright, that's doing good so far. Alright, let's improve Koshay's abilities as much as we can. And then can Koshay take out this gargoyle? Miss on that. Hit on that. Then one. So close to dead. You can't get Koshay. What are you thinking, buddy? Alright. Actually, let's just see if we can have good old Koshay just... Good job. So, that was a nightmare and a half. Okay, so... I think Gaichu needs healing, for sure. Who else is missing a bunch? So I'm missing 30. Yeah, let's get... yeah, heal me, please. And then... I think... Who has a 1? You do. Alright. So let's just have you heal yourself. Yes. Oh my gosh, that was all sorts of horrible. It sucked that our best melee fighter got sucked into another world for a while. Dear Mother of Lords. Anyways, Comlink crackles. You got the books. Great. Next you need to head upstairs so I can wipe the security data. Then you're home free. Did you know these creatures were here? No, I planned this run to the last detail, but those monsters were a happy accident, as I heard from 20th century fellow Bobby Roshkian, I think? I don't know. I'm not that hip with the 20th century history. Great. I'll keep my eyes open for more happy surprises. You do that. Now, time's wasting. Security room's at the top of the stairs leading back to the museum floor. Click. Yes, I see you, kitty. I see you, kitty. I love you too.
Yeah, I would not say any of those were Bob Rostians. Alright, just make sure there's nothing else I missed. Whoa, hello. A cadaverous husk materializes in front of you, unfolding like a flower from nothingness into being. It stands with surprisingly upright posture, and you can see that its robes were once of fine quality. It raises a hand to block your path. Stop. The thing's voice comes out in a hollow rasp. Something about it feels empty. It seems you can move freely through this realm, coming and going, taking what is not yours. Yeah, so what? What do you want? A man of action. Good. The creature nods at you, its teeth gleaming. I want out of this tomb. I must free myself from this place. But I cannot leave. My soul is bound to these catacombs, chained to the bones of a life that I no longer possess. So you think I can get you out of here somehow? You can. Slowly, painfully, the mummy inclines its head. It reaches into the folds of its robes and produces a ring of fired porcelain. The creature extends its arm, presenting the object as an offering. Take this talisman and place it among the other artifacts you've removed. Once you've moved it beyond the binding threshold of this excavation, I will be free. Let's say I do this. What's in it for me? The sure knowledge that you have done what is right. You're gonna have to do better than that. When I am free, I will give you a thing, a token. Crumble it in your hands and I will come to your aid. But only once. One time and no more. Will this be sufficient, troll? Will you accept my offer? Nah. I have dealt with enough Looney Tunes today. Wow, already almost dead. Made the wrong move, buddy. Yeah, but... Okay, cooldown of 2. Okay. Yeah, so first off, I wasn't going to let another creepy crawly... I was considering with the vampire, and then I was like, you know, fine, I'll let that slide. I have a psychopath. Okay, you know what? That's fine. I'm drawing my line at mother frickin' mummies. Like, no. I'm sorry. That's... Especially after they took me to that other realm. Like, nope. Nope. If you had presented me that option before I got ambushed by all your goons, sure, we could have negotiated, but, like, no. And now I got a badass sword out of it, too. I'll still need to buy, like, another sword, since I can only use that once every other turn, but... Alright, so... I guess this is where this terminal is. The one I tried to turn off earlier. Powered off. This is the one. Flip the switch on the bottom right. Not the bottom left. The bottom right.
Then plug in my data chip. Script will doctor the security lock so you can sneak out. It's executing now. There's a pause. You can hear him clicking his tongue like a metronome. And done. Get out of there. Sounds easy enough. But why is there a thing right here? Wait a second, is this it? What? I knew it! I knew it! I was like, there's no way there's not going to be a fight here because of that mana line that was right there. Wait a second. What? How come I can't... Are all the doors locked? Then, fine. I'll just move to the line of power right here until you all come in and die. We'll, of course. Crochet. Let's just have Crochet be right there. Someone got messed up. Alright, let's see. So I think you can... Yeah. 107 damage. Thank you. You are toasted. Whoopsie. Alright, let's see. I'll take it. Can't see that one, so let's see. Well, that will be interesting next turn. Since it bounced off both of them, it counted as getting 2 targets, so... Sweet. Sweet. Alright, let's get Raptor into kill mode. Bye-bye, kitty. Okay, so first off, good night. Second off, good night. Good night. Good night. Familiar voice pops up in your communicator. Change of plans. Search those bodies for a key fob. You'll need it to access the side door. Where's the side door? In the lobby. My program didn't work as well as I expected. I've been monitoring the exits on my cameras, and the HKPFF locked down. Since you can't go out the front now, you got to exit out the side. That key will get you through the locked side door, which will take out the east surface entrance. You punks. I swear to goodness. Well... Can I... Yeah, didn't think so. That's fine. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Sure, let's do that. And then I will just hop back here. Alright, Isabel, let's get you back here. Let's say 55, 50, 50. Sniper's going to be the biggest problem, I think, but as long as we're behind cover, we should be okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, Gaichu. Get that activated. Since there is a sniper in there, let's go ahead and get you pumped up a little bit more. Ugh, oh well. Oh, I thought you fell down for a second. Okay. Well, alright, let's send Gaichu, or sorry, Raktor, to here. I guess we can finish that one off. Can we get lucky? Eh. Oh well. I will just let everyone else handle that for now. First off, let's go ahead and see if we can mark him. Sweet. Let's see if we can maybe use the Heaven to do some crits on him. Sweet. Sweet. And then... not quite. That's okay. I'm sure they can't one-shot Raktor. Let's hope not anyways. So I'll keep Slain back there though because, yeah, that was some massive damage. Let's see if we can just do... that's fine. Didn't expect that to hit anyways, so... a boom, and then a boom. Yep. Alright, so can we GTFO? Sweet. Alright, wait a second. I just want to make sure. Is there anything else I need to get? Nope. Okay. Confirm. Holy moly. Okay, well, first off, I need to get freaking more armor for my guy, and I need to, I don't know, do something about that, because that was insane. Probably upgrade his body and stuff like that. So anyways, your adrenaline wanes as you fly through the subway tunnels on your way back to Hoy. There isn't much left to do but pick up the shards of glass off your clothes and congratulate yourself on one hell of a run. It's just too bad you couldn't keep the looted antiquities. By the end, you might should steal over 10,000 yen worth of items for your client, a number that will hopefully be reflected in your mission pay. The damage you caused will likely set the museum's development back even further. Not enough to cripple the project, just enough to send a message. But at the end of the day, you still managed to break a lot of exhibits, displays, and even the faces of a few tomb crawlers, presence of which had conveniently slipped Drake's mind. Surprises aside, you came out on top. Thanks to some quick thinking on Drake's part, you got the books and got out. Also got a badass sword, if I can ever survive enough to use it. Everyone targets the frickin' troll. Jeez. Ooh. 8 karma gained. Okay, so that's definitely enough for strength. Actually, it's enough for both of these, because... yeah, since those count as 6 still, it'd be 8 and 8 then when I did that. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this first. And then what I'd like to do is then start increasing that a bit. Honestly, it'd be really awesome if I could get that so I could get a free essence from something. Alright. We'll see if the Fays have anything else to say. I'm 90% sure everything else is done. Young troll bouncer is as far from alert as he's likely ever been. Men and women pass through the front door without earning even a glance from Freddy. He just taps away to the screen of a tablet, oblivious to the world. Think someone just carried in a nuke, Freddy. Uh-huh. Earth to Freddy! He finally looks up. Oh, it's you. Sorry about that, just making some final arrangements. Father thinks I'm not ready for the big time. He thinks I'm not strong enough or resourceful enough or whatever, but I'm proving him wrong already. See, I got it all figured out. Hellthunder crew has been spotted to the south, mostly out among the islands there. Star Ferry service operates all through that region. So I just need to hop down to Stanley and stop hopping ferries until I hear the drums. They play the drums. Did you know that? That's why I've been practicing. Got a plus-size capsule reserved at the Dynasty Mansion in Stanley, and I got enough cash to cover that and the ferry rides for about 2 months. And get this, Stanley's also known as Chek Chui, which means Bandit's Post. Why? Because of pirates. It's a sign, I'm telling you. I'm also got a lead on someone with the Tolavori down there. Maybe I'll be able to help. He's got connections inside Yamatetsu, and they pretty much run their marine department these days. They monitor ships coming and going, and if pirates hit, they'll know. And once they know, my guy will make sure I know. It's all coming together. I'll show my ba what I'm made of. Meaning, as soon as I get my loose ends tied up. Yeah, I don't think it's that good of an idea. He's just a punk kid. Not so sure about this, Freddy. What's not to be sure of? I've got it all figured out. I can find these guys, I know. But what if they don't want to be found? but they're trolls like me, and they're pirates like my ba. Are you saying they might not take me, or worse? Shit, now you got me all confused. I suppose I don't have to leave immediately. One more day to stew on it won't matter. Just sleep on it, Freddy. Yeah, I think I have one more set of conversations with everyone in the family. Henry stands unmoving at the back of the club, staring blankly at a wall. Had the wall been built with a window, the view afforded would have laid straight out to the sea, but as it is, the old store stares at nothing. I've come to a decision. So will it be the soup or the salad? Huh, you're a strange man, but here it is. I can't do it any longer. I can't keep on going this way. I'm just so tired. Not just because of the dreams disturbing my sleep at night. I was worried this world long before that. If anything, the dreams simply serve to underscore the truth. I don't belong here. Alright, that was weird. Okay, looks like everything should be back up. I don't know what happened. Said I was live on the... Or, sorry, the stream went dead on my computer. Internet seemed fine. I had zero idea what happened. Anyways, back to a little bit more story. All I know is it's not here. My number's up. Whether it's tomorrow or years from now, I'll just slip into the water. Less of a burden in death than I was in life. Simple and clean. I'm not going to say simple and neat when you can say simple and clean. It's a good song. Tide's going out. It's time I went with it. Sounds like you'd be happier out there. I hope so. I hope they'll be happier without my gloomy face darkening this place. But Thank you for listening. I needed to talk it through, but something still holds me back.
Give it some time. The ocean will always be there for another, 10, 15 years or so.
You're right, Slane. She'll be there waiting for me. I'll stay this course just a little longer. Callum? Callum has calmed greatly since last time. He's once again oscillated into his more somber brooding mode. He looks almost professional as he conducts a little business with some rail-thin gangers aching for their fix. Back again, I see. What is it about this place? The music? The sweaty bodies? Or is it my messed up family that keeps bringing you back?
It's just business.
Your business seems to be everyone else's. Well, if you can keep it on the down low, I got news I'm dying to share with somebody. You runner types are good with secrets, right?
Let's hear it.
So I snuck off behind my mother's back. I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth. No grown man should have to say that. But that's what I had to do, so that's what I did. I finally met this guy who wants to be my benefactor. His name is Matthew Ty. He's a human guy. Rolled up on the dock with a speedboat, with guards and everything. Real slick dude. Like classy. Powerful classy. He asked me to call him Matt. Isn't that great? I hopped in and off we went. Had dinner together. It was a little strange, but I'm still glad I went. Things he told me.
How was it weird?
It got weird at the end. Like, there's more he wanted to say, but he couldn't. Maybe he didn't want to get my hopes up too high in case the whole arrangement didn't pan out. I'm not sure. Strangest part by far, though, was when security detail busted our table and bagged everything we had touched. Glasses, plates, utensils, napkins. Mr. Ty, Matt, said it was a standard precaution for men in his position. Even the smallest genetic sample could be used to subvert biometric security systems, or could be used in ritual magic. Never really thought about it before, but these are just the kind of things I could learn from this guy.
What kinds of things?
For one, he said he remembers my mother. Apparently he knew her well. In fact, he said he knew her better than anyone back at Bayou. And that's partly how he came to know me, I guess. Yeah, DNA test, I betcha. But the way he talked about my mother is like, I don't know, there's something between them. He had this wistful look on his eye and on his face, and a smirk when he said her name. Probably the same kind of look on my face right now, like he was keeping a wonderful secret. I don't remember my father ever looking that way at my mother. Got me wondering about a lot of things.
Callum, you say you're smart, but you're kinda dumb. I'm out of here. Never mind.
Trolwyn looks more wary than you've ever seen her. The club is virtually shut down and she doesn't seem to care. She's lost that presence which had once so defined her and has left her visibly smaller. The world's gone mad, hasn't it?
The world's always been mad. What's happening?
She looks at a nearby photo of her son Callum hanging from the metal shelf. Callum thinks Henry isn't his father. He thinks I had an affair. He even threatened to tell Henry if I don't let him leave. Oh, I'm glad that he came to that conclusion. I thought he was being a little bit blinded. Truth is, he's right. I did have an affair. I had several affairs. I was young and beautiful and very aggressive. I was going places and Henry was gone at sea most of the time. Henry isn't Callum's father, but I can't tell Callum the truth about his father. It might destroy him.
Let me guess. Callum's father is his mysterious new benefactor.
Yes, he is. That man now whispers promises to my son. A free ride through university, a guaranteed starting position at Bayou, a bright future. Callum doesn't know what that world is like. Once I was ready to leave Henry for that man. He lavished gifts on me. He told me I was special. Maybe he really did love me. I was a troll girl from Hoy, transcending her meager beginnings. I was becoming someone of worth, and I even had a powerful human lover. Ermine fixes a level gaze at you. Bayou has always frowned on metahumans. I was an exception. I thought that was just because they accepted me and it wouldn't affect me anymore. In fact, I myself looked down on most metahumans as oversensitive and lazy. Then he invited me to a high-level corporate retreat for the weekend.
What happened?
My eyes were opened. Do you know what they do at these retreats? They hunt. But what is there to hunt in Hong Kong?
Nothing. Nothing but that which is different. Those they secretly disdain. Those they see as animals. They hunt metahumans. They thought I'd be okay with it. They thought I was one of them. They don't kill their prey. It's more satisfying to let them live, knowing their victims are powerless to find justice. They take trophies. Tips of elf's ears, an orc's tusks, troll's horns. She just struck her own horns as if reassuring herself that they're still intact. I realized I had already given them a trophy. My basic humanity. My principles. Ermine's voice cool and professional. Her expression is earnest. For me, it wasn't about humans versus elves or orcs or dwarves or my kind. I want you to understand that, Slade. It was about common humanity. It's about how we treat all people. What'd you do? I acted like it was fine and held it together for the weekend. I hid my feelings like any good negotiator in a bad position. Then once the weekend was over, I cleaned up my office. I came back to Hoy and sent Baihu my resignation. Later I found out I was pregnant with Callum. When the DNA test confirmed that Henry wasn't the father, I meant to terminate the pregnancy, but I couldn't bear to do it. And so, Callum, my son, one of the joys of my life. Maybe this man fancies himself as Callum's father. Even if he does, it still doesn't guarantee Callum safety among those people. Baihu is still Baihu. And maybe that man just wants to get back at me for leaving him. After all, he had the audacity to say that I broke his heart. This is why I can't allow Callum to go. I'd rather my son hate me forever than give himself to that world. Hermione draws herself to her full height. She restores herself to her usual regal bearing. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have troubled you with my problems. You probably came here on business and your time is valuable. Can I show you anything? No, I'm sorry. You just take care of yourself. I don't do guns anyways. Although maybe I should because I'm really crappy at swords. Alright, let's see. Anything new with you? Probably not. Nope. Alright, so let's sell. Actually, let's just sell this regular aim. Because I'm not 100% sure that, the Emperor's Sword, I know it said cooldown 2, but I don't know if that means I have to wait, you know, for sure if I'm just going to use it for regular attacking or whatnot. Alright, so let's go here. Alright, nothing else there. Just gonna... Oh, whoops, sorry, I should probably... Before I do that, because I know I can buy, I can at least equip the stuff I want to buy, I need to get money. I need to get paid for my job. Okay. One unread message. Problem solved. I see that you have solved the problem. Kindly will be pleased. Straggler bow. Alright, jobs. Claim payment. Well done. You went above and beyond what I asked and liberated some truly precious artifacts. I've attached the payment you're owed, plus a little bonus. Almost 2,000. I trust that you'll keep quiet about what exactly was liberated from Liu's little museum. I'll come collect the books from Kindly Shing shortly. Alright. Let's go ahead and post up some pay data. And anything here? Nope. Alright, I think we're basically going to be just doing run after run after run after this. I think we're done with you. Oh, I can at least ask about the last run. Any thoughts about that? An interesting diversion. The mummies that we encountered were fascinating. Dead flesh reanimated by the controlling will of an astral being bound within. Of course, the notion that these creatures are genuine reincarnations of long-dead humans is ludicrous. There's nothing innately magical about human consciousness. The soul is an antiquated concept rooted in wishful thinking. Pity that our time with the creatures is at an end.
But the job is done, and we have received our pay, and a blade that you recovered should prove quite useful. A fine day's work, all things considered. Alright, good enough. Alright, anything with Gaichu? What do you think of the last mission? A curious affair. I wish we had more time to study the nature of the mummies we found in the catacombs, as I am unaware of any spirit or paranormal phenomena which could explain their existence. Bound spirits? A strain of HMHVV? Perhaps something else entirely. Their nature isn't clear to me. It's unfortunate that we will be unable to study them any further. I doubt any remain within the catacombs, and even if they do, it seems unlikely we will ever return. At least we retrieved a fine blade in the process, though. Nope, nothing else. Bye-bye. Duncan, hello. Bye-bye. Any thoughts about the last run? I always liked the old stories about robbing the rich. I dreamed of being like that when I grew up. You know, righteous bandit like the ones in Water Margin or Sun Wukong. So I liked Fang's angle on the job. Break in, liberate some priceless artifacts, and get out. I can't think of any stories that involved angry mummies, though. That's a new one on me. Figured anything that's been trapped for centuries is probably going to be pissed off. I get it. But I also think it's probably going to be a little crazy in the head. I mean, wouldn't you be? I'm glad you didn't let it go free. I'm not in the habit of trusting ancient, vengeful dead things. That seems like a road straight to trouble. Anything else? Nope. And Gobbit. Hey, again, did you need something?
How are you adjusting to the gift that rat or the shiny object or whatever is giving you?
Her expression brightens. It's good. I mean, probably not, like, morally good, but I think I can use it.
What is it? What does it do?
Well, it's kind of like a grenade. When I throw it, it goes boom. Not out here in the real world, but in the astral plane. It's pretty impressive. As for what it actually does, it scares the shit out of anyone who's caught in a blast. Makes them out like idiots. They run around with their heads in the air, or forget about who's shooting at them, and sitting around with their fingers in their ears. Handy, huh?
Sure, I guess.
Oh, here's the thing. When I use this thing, what I think I'm doing is opening a bunch of temporary cracks in the astral plane. Just little ones, only wide enough for sounds to pass through. People in the blast radius can hear things on the other side. So let's say I throw the sucker at someone, and it goes off. Boom! All of a sudden, that poor Slav can hear the things that got into Malvina shrieking in his brain.
That doesn't sound like a very good idea.
No, hear me out. It's pretty great, actually. The cracks are only temporary. They snap shut after a few seconds, so nothing back can get through. There's no chance of the Rat King coming back. And as for the people who get caught in a blast, man, what happens to them isn't pretty. All those voices at once, yelling and blabbering and cursing, doing their Rat King thing, it drive you nuts, right? And that's basically what it does. It's like temporary insanity in pebble form.
As long as you're comfortable using this thing, I'm all for it. How many did Rat give you?
That's the best part. After I use one of these things and go to bed, I find another one in my hand the next morning. I tried it a couple times now, and it keeps happening. Toss, explode, nap, visions, dancing rats, and ta-da! New magic pebble. Using this feels right in a way that the shining object never did. I think that's Rat's reward to me for taking Malvina down or something. I don't know exactly. I've never heard of this happening to anyone before. Anyway, it should help us moving forward, and considering what we're heading up against next, I think we can use all the help we can get.
Alright, Gobbit. We've finally gotten back on track, so got another lesson?
No, Seattle, no more lessons. You don't need them. You're as much of a runner as I am now. There might even be a thing or two I can learn from you. All of that can wait, though. Got this whole situation with the walled city, your foster dad, gun show, all that to take care of. It's kind of a mouthful. Lots of players involved, lots of intrigue. Honestly, I'm enthralled by the whole thing. I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Glad you're keeping... me either, Gobbit. I guess we'll just see how it plays out together.
Yeah, you're damn right we will. Oh, in Seattle?
Yeah.
Pot on the hot plate. It's always full. I keep a suit going on that thing 24/7. If you ever want any, you're welcome. Just come on in. I love the company.
I'm gonna make you regret that offer. I can eat a lot of soup.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you prove it. Maybe a little later, though. It's getting late and I could use some shut-eye.
You're choosing sleep over soup? Who are you and what did you do with Gobbet? Ha ha. Smiling slightly, she waves you off the back of her hand. Scurry along now. Your former mentor needs your rest. And I think, yeah, definitely battle it. Yeah. Just, yeah, the egg keeps finding its way back to its owner. So, that's why we're not going to invite Gobbet on any runs. We don't need to open the demon plane into our world. Alright, so let's see what we can buy with our money. Alright, so let's see. Spells. We can do Ball Lightning, which it does 15 damage. It costs 3 AP, though. That's probably out of the question. Chain Lightning. Next two closest characters. Maybe, maybe not. I already have the weird Fireball that does a lot of stuff. I might get Flamethrower. Mana Ball is also pretty good. Mana Bolt. Let's see. I think what I'll do is I'll get Flamethrower because it comes back every other round. And I don't have enough for anything else, I guess. But I'll probably do Mana Bolt because I think the cooldown of 4, that's a lot. Although it does do 8 hit points of damage for 2 rounds. But only has an AoE of 2, and usually enemies aren't that close together. I'll probably end up getting this just because it's 16 that pierces 4 armor. So that'll be nice. I'll probably just skip that and this. So, yeah, I think that is good. So yeah, I'll just aim for Mana Bolt for next time. Alright, so I gotta get rid of something. Oh no, I sold the old aim. So the next thing I might get rid of, I like Wild Aim, I'll keep that. I like Lightning Bolt. So let's see. Cooldown of 4, cooldown of 3, cooldown of 2. I do like the Strip Armor too. I might not get Mana Bolt then, to be honest. I guess what I'll do then is I'll probably buy that Power Bolt 4. Yeah. Yeah, might as well. And if I, and after that, I'll probably just be, ooh, I do need to get, yeah. I need to get another, I don't need to talk to Law again. We'll do one more run. But yeah, I need to get another trauma pack since I used my last one. Oh, Ambrose looks exhausted. He's staring blankly at a glass of amber whiskey next to him. Engine parts litter the floor of the operating theater. Hey, Slane, big typhoon on the way. Better batten down the hatches. It's gonna be a kicker. Robot arm swings over him to take a weary drag from a cigarette. What's the deal with the typhoon? It's your first typhoon, isn't it? Typhoons go out in the Pacific and come crashing into the coast. Biggest ones hit Category 7. Real monsters. Unreal. Ambrose swirls his whiskey disconsolately. This one's just a big, wet huffer. Streets are gonna flood. Aircraft will be grounded. This one's awakened, so get ready for a lot of communications interference. And get your galoshes. It's gonna be wet. Gives you a sidelong glance, a slight look in his eye. Good time for running in storms. All that wind and rain obscures surveillance. Curfew clears the streets. Cops and security contractors are all tied up. Surprised you're not throwing a typhoon party. Nobody's in the mood for it. Not either. These dreams are driving everyone crazy. Takes a big slug in his whiskey. Mechanical arm from the wheelchair absently fills the glass back up. Fortunately, I have special training for dealing with dreams. We're at sea level here. What will the storm surge do to Hoy? Nothing.
zeroing wall will seal all of Victoria Harbor behind a big concrete breakwater. Shuts down the harbor and keeps sea level constant. Have you seen the harbor wall activated before? It's a miracle of engineering. We'll stop a 2-meter surge with 7-meter wind waves. Show me what you got. Actually, I want to take a look at cyberware. So I definitely think I want to get that. Let me see if I can do that. Maybe this. Wait, is that body? So this is body. Alright, so let's see what we can do to the body. And maybe that. Ooh, actually no. Tailored pheromones? Yeah, totally get that. And then body. Yeah, we can totally get, ooh. Or we get that. Nah, I feel like I would rather get the +1 to all attributes. So, between that, getting the 0 thing right there. Let's see. Ugh. No. Or, +1 willpower, -1 intelligence. +1 dodge, +1. That might be another thing there too. That would probably be the one. Yeah. There's a lot of 0 cost stuff. Okay. Ooh, +1 quickness, +1 strength. Well, at least I know what to do with my money after this. So, if the... I do need to get better armor, though, actually. Alright. Slayer armor is one thing I need to look out for. So, okay. So, basically... I'm going to get the... if this doesn't actually have a cooldown of 2 and I can use it every turn, then I will definitely just... sell the machete. I don't need to worry about buying another melee weapon. And I'll just buy Power Bolt. And I'll be set on all the spells I want. I might grab the... Oh, I forgot to get the freaking trauma pack. Duh. Okay. And then... Whoops, wrong one. Okay, that would be nice. Huh. You know what, I'll go ahead and... Yeah, I'll just buy one of these for now. You know what, the other people have them, and they don't come close to going down. So let's just hope I can have them resurrect me. That's all. I need to save money because there's a lot of things I want to get. I want to get the armor. I want to get the upgraded power bolt. I might have to buy a weapon, and then there's a lot of cyber that I want to get. I can start getting that 0 stuff. Actually, so we're gonna go ahead to do some geomatic sabotage, but I think I might actually call it here, mainly because there is a little bit of other stuff I have to do back at the store to get ready for tomorrow's inspection. And I think after this point, I'm just gonna try to maybe do like 2 runs in a go, 2 or 3 runs depending on how long they take. I think we have like maybe 2 or 3 more streams after this. We'll see. Bad Chi. Now, I think it's gonna autosave, and I'll have to read through this next time anyway. So I'll read through it then. But I hope you appreciated the critter stream. Because, yeah, it was at least 50% critters and stuff like that. I do love them very much, even when they try to get on my lap and they're too big, technically. And yeah, I guess. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll have to quit anyways. So anyways, but yeah. Let's go ahead and just quit out. But yeah, so this was a fun run. Got a neat sword. Did basically all the NPC stuff, so we can just basically start doing run after run after run. And yeah, should be fun. So I'll be back Tuesday. Hopefully with some news. If I haven't posted about it on our Facebook or whatnot by then. But yeah, so everyone, have a good night, a good weekend. Take care and stay safe. Especially those of you in the Oklahoma parts, because there has been a little uptick about that pandemic. So, yeah, be careful, stay safe. See you all Tuesday. Bye-bye,